Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. We are Millennial Mom. If you don't know who is who, I'm Millennial. This is Mom. Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, I'm Mom or Kay from Millennial Mom, and today we're going to talk about 90 Day, The Last Resort, Season 1, Episode 5, Last Call. Now with every video, if you haven't already subscribed, please consider subscribing to our channel. Like, share, leave your comments so I know what you thought about these couples, and tell a friend to tell a friend that Mom or Kay does 90 Day Fiancé, The Last Resort, and all the tell-all, and there will be some coming up soon. So hit that subscribe button and let's get started. All right, so when we pick back up on this episode, Kelly and Molly are finishing up their one-on-one with the therapist. Kelly is emotional, saying he's scared. The therapist thinks there's so much more that Kelly and Molly aren't saying. Because they are saying things without saying them. There's underlying issues going on. I referenced it in last week's video. There's some things that Molly has with her oldest child that's got out into the news, and what Kelly and her daughters got into. So maybe this carried over to the show. So they're not really saying a whole lot that's going on. But the therapist feels that if they continue to do the work, the actions, the homework that's given to them, that maybe they can open up and can resolve whatever issue they're having, and the relationship could be salvaged. Now, when Molly says that she doesn't think that Kelly loves her, now here's the thing. I've noticed Kelly getting far more emotional than Molly. Molly doesn't have to be a crier, but it seems like Kelly is doing the work and really trying to open up with his feelings, versus Molly, who does come across just a little bit more reserved. Now, the therapist decided to give Kelly and Molly some more homework. He says, well, for tonight, take this time to reflect on the good times, what's worked for you, where you feel you go in the future, and come back together to see what each other has written down, and maybe that's a good starting point for you both. So Kelly and Molly agreed that it was, and said they would work on the homework. In confessional, Molly said that she was thankful for the therapist and said that she thought that Kelly was the one that she could spend her life with, and that she knows that she can take some responsibility on some of the things that was going on in the relationship. She says that she's not ready to give up on them yet, but you know what? Just like the therapist, I'm gonna need Molly, if she really wants this relationship, to put in just a little bit more effort. Now, there's some quick scenes with these couples, beginning with Ed and Liz. Ed and Liz have a beach activity day for themselves. Why did Ed bring some floaties? Ed said that he's a big scaredy cat and he's bringing these floaties so he doesn't float away. I'm like, oh, so you feel like you're gonna float away like you're a beach ball? I mean, I can kind of see it, but at the same time, do they make floaties for adults? I thought it was just a life jacket and floaties are made for kids. But Liz is helping her man blow up those floaties, and they go about their day. After they're done with their beach activities, they sit down and they talk about the homework that they received from the sex therapist, or the pleasure-pleasing professional, last episode, where they have to learn how to please each other in their own way. So Liz said very happily that they felt the homework with the F-, and they will take that. So then Ed starts talking about different things about what's going to happen after they leave the resort, and has she decided to move back to Arkansas with him. So Liz says, even though we've shown progress, but this is our pattern, we show progress, then we regress backwards, so it's going to take me a little bit more time, and Ed agreed that it did. So when we see Angela, she's talking about intimacy with Michael and the assignment her and Michael had, and of course the adult toy that she received. Angela says that even though they're far away, that it has increased their intimacy, and also that Michael had Angela feeling like she was riding on a cowboy last night. So I guess the activity for them, even though across the seas, have worked out for her. All right, so we move to Jovi and Yara. They're in the room talking about homework. Now, when I say they're in the room, they're still in the bed. And Jovi is saying, well, I tried to do the homework. Their homework was to learn how to cuddle with each other without having intimacy. But Yara told us in confessional, Jovi was weak, he couldn't handle it. But Jovi said, well, you were weak too because you did it with me. So, I mean, he's kind of right. It does take two to tango. All right, when we see Kalani and Asuelu, they're also talking about their homework assignment in a roundabout way so the kids don't hear the details about what did or didn't happen. Now, Asuelu said he was able to complete the homework but was thinking about Kalani the whole time. Now, when he asked Kalani, did she do her homework? Kalani said yes, that she did. She said she actually did it twice with a big smile on her face. So Kalani had a good time. Why did Asuelu ask Kalani, so did you think about me when you were doing your homework? She was like, well, not really. And I'm like, you know what? That's an open-ended question. Asuelu, for him, he may be past the infidelity, the cheating, or whatever you want to call it. Kalani definitely is not. So she said that she didn't think about nobody, but was she really telling the truth? Now, the next morning when we moved back to Molly and Kelly, they said that even though they didn't end things on good terms the night before, they just, went to bed and that was it. So when they met for the activity, Molly was saying even though they didn't have anything going on last night, she wanted to make sure to put things to the side for today, to have a good day. She's tired of the stress. And I know Kelly is too, because you can see it in his eyes, in just his demeanor, that he's tired. He's really broken down. So there is set up like a bowling, but they're using coconuts as bowling balls. So it looks like they're having a good time. Molly's talking her smack. Kelly's like, yeah, bring it on, bring it on. In confessional, Kelly said, sometimes Molly acts like she's a princess or she doesn't really know what she's doing, but she's competitive at nature, and that's what he likes about her. That's one of the things that brought them together. So after the activity, they come together and they're talking. So the question comes up about, even though they didn't do the homework with the pleasure pleasing, that's a tongue twister. But since they didn't do their homework, they get to talk about what they like and what they don't when it comes to intimacy. Molly flat out tells Kelly that you're boring. I think you don't have any adventure in the bedroom. She goes, I've taken you different toys to try to, brighten things up and get things started. I've had a hysterectomy. I had things fixed. So I'm ready to go. And Kelly said, no, that's not true. He goes, I ask you what you like, what you don't like. Now, see, him saying that's not true doesn't mean you're not boring. Just because you ask her what she likes, she just wants a little bit more spice. Well, then the conversation goes left again. Molly says that she feels that because of maybe Kelly's career as a retired police officer, that he has unresolved trauma, and she also feels like he doesn't even like her. She feels like he's not attracted to her. And that's when Kelly has to step off and take a minute to himself. In confessional, he's saying that he feels attacked and that Molly is using his job as a scapegoat. So when he comes back to talk to Molly, he says that, it's not about my job. He goes, I'm here to please you. I'm here to do whatever it is that you want to do, for anything to make this relationship work. And then he says to Molly, well, you just can't put everything on me like it's my problem. My career is a scapegoat. You need to take control of your baggage too and see how it's getting away, putting a rift in this relationship. And the way that Molly responded is just like, I know, it's not just you, it is me too. It's the level of the communication. Now, I have to agree with a couple episodes ago, one of the therapists, or even maybe two therapists, said that it's the communication style between the two, and especially on Molly's end. And you can definitely see it in the response. To me, it also falls under, it's not what you say, but it's how you say it. So what do y'all think about that? All right, so later in the episode, Liz and Ed meet with a therapist that uses past life regressions to get them to see what from your past life could be affecting you in this life. Now, if you believe in that, that's okay, but I'm a skeptic. I'm not sure if that works or not. So today is Ed's turn. Tomorrow's gonna be Liz. So when the therapist is explaining how the process works and how the hypnosis works, Ed agrees to it, then he gets put under for hypnosis. But why did you hear snores when Ed did go under? You can't really take Ed for real because he's always joking, he's always being sarcastic, he's always like not reading the room and being serious. So apparently the therapist says when your lips quiver after you're snoring, I guess, that's how she knows that you're under and you're ready to go to the place where she's trying to take you to. So when she's asking Ed to describe where he is, what's going on, what does he look like, etc., Ed says that it's like 1669. He feels like he was like once a leprechaun wearing gold or metal shoes, and he was a performer. Now the therapist is like, okay, and what else? Yeah, you know, this is what happens when you go under, and just all these different little things. Again, I'm a skeptic. I don't, if it was someone else, maybe I would consider it, but I mean, if you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. All right, so next when we see Jovi, Kelly, and Asuelu, they're riding bikes down to the bar to have some guy time. Jovi says it's a much needed break, and he's happy that Ed is not there because you know what? I have to agree with Jovi again. Ed just brings a lot of chaos, a lot of unnecessary drama. And on top of that, Jovi and Ed have gotten into several times. So, I mean, I don't think Jovi would not welcome Ed, but to not have him there is a breath of fresh air. So as the guys are having their drinks, the conversation comes up with, again, the homework. Jovi was happy to say that him and Yara, you know, cheated and whatever. Asuelu said that he did his homework. Kelly said that, you know, him and Molly aren't being intimate, so there was no homework to be had. In confessional, Jovi said that he noticed the tensions between Molly and Kelly, so he wasn't surprised at that. So then when Asuelu was telling the guys about the homework and what Kalani said about her homework, he's still concerned about the hall pass guy. And you know what? I honestly think he should. Not just from this particular episode, but just in general, and just the things that Kalani described in previous episodes that has been going on leading up until this point. Now, then some kind of way, the conversation got into going to a strip club. Asuelu said he's never been. Kelly is down to go. He said Molly don't have no problem with that. I believe he said that him and Molly also have gone to a strip club a time or two together. And then Jovi said, well, you know, Yara doesn't like me going. And have you seen Jovi and Yara again on previous seasons of 90 Day? Oh, that's Jovi's thing. He likes to drink and he likes those strip clubs, okay? But Asuelu, he was ready to go, but at the same time, he's not, because he said he doesn't want to rock the boat with Kalani, even though Kalani has said in the past he can go. So then Asuelu is asking, so what happens at strip clubs? And Jovi is saying, well, you know, you have money and, you know, get private dances. There's different rooms. He's describing like different little things that can happen. But Kelly said something a little off the wall. He said, yeah, go to the strip clubs. They'll let you do different little things, but the things that they'll let you do, you don't want to have that white tongue again. I said, oh no, not the white tongue reference. So if you don't know what we're talking about, go back to episode 1 and it will be described for you there. So, well, I don't know if they go to the strip club. It looks like it's the plan. Maybe next week we'll have to see if they do end up going or not. Now, when we see the ladies, everyone minus Liz, it's Kalani, Yara, and Angela. Kalani and Yara are on the beach having a little chit chat when Angela walks up, and Yara gives the biggest eye roll like, oh, here comes Angela. And again, I don't blame her. Angela is in people's faces, whether you're a male or a female. She likes to stir the pot and create chaos, just like Ed, but just in the Angela type of way. So Yara sticks up for herself in this episode. She's saying, listen, Angela, I don't appreciate you being in my room with my husband drunk and waking me up. She said, there's boundaries. And then Angela says, I don't have no boundaries. I said, yeah, you're right. You don't have no boundaries. You don't have no manners, and you definitely don't have a filter. And Kalani is trying to moderate. She's saying, all right, well, Angela, some people do have boundaries. So then next thing you know, Angela says, oh, is that a bug? So she looks in her bathing suit. So what does Angela pull out? It's the adult toy that she has with Michael, and apparently Michael is somewhere on his phone, buzzing the toy. And so Angela shows it. They're like, oh, you brought that to the beach with you? And so Kalani says, is it sanitized? Angela looks first. She's like, yeah. You know that's not sanitized. But if it is, okay. But with Angela, use your discretion. So then Angela gets up and just wants to show Yara. And then Yara gets up like, no, I don't want your juice in my face. I thought that was funny. So then Angela gets up and starts chasing Yara with the toy. Come on, like I would have ran too. Like, who wants somebody's adult toy that, whether you just had in your face 5 minutes ago or 2 days ago, in your face, that you, from Angela, that you know definitely she probably just pulled out and shown it to you, right? So anyways, the chase didn't last long because Angela got tired. After things calmed back down again, Kalani, Angela, and Yara talked about the homework, and then Kalani admitted that even though she got off 2 times, she was thinking about her hall pass. And now Kalani starts to get emotional that she told Asuelu that she wasn't thinking about anybody. But then Kalani also admitted that she also got some home videos on her phone, so she used that for reference. So Kalani says that she doesn't really know what to do or where to go from the future, but I'm gonna say, in my opinion, I think Kalani is there to go through motions and for closure. What do y'all think? All right, so that was the end of the episode. Next week, the couples are in a group activity with a tantric yoga or Kama Sutric therapist activity. If you've seen Married at First Sight, you've seen the process of the tantric yoga, try to get close intimately using motion or physical touch. And Kelly and Molly seem to have another breakdown while in the session. Also next week, Liz invited the ladies out to have a fun night, minus Angela. But Molly said, well, I invited her anyway. So guess who walks in Liz's room? It's Angela. And Kalani says, oh, look at this. You can feel the tension in the room, and you can. And the look on Angela and Liz's face is like, why is this bee even here? And also later in the episode, Kalani and Asuelu are going to be talking to a therapist. Kalani's telling the therapist that she doesn't forgive Asuelu for things that not just happened recently, but things that happened in the very beginning. And Asuelu said, well, what happened in the beginning? So maybe we'll find out what Kalani is talking about. All right, everyone. Thank you again for watching. Don't forget to hit that like, comment, subscribe, and share. And until next time, everyone, live simply, be grateful.